Danny Palo, welcome. Thank you for coming to the podcast studio. Tell us a little bit about who you are and give us a glimpse into this incredibly cool history that you've had.
Okay. Well, thank you for the invite, Tom. I think this may only be my third podcast in my life, so we'll see if I can not foul this up. So this August will be 40 years at VRC. I've only had two jobs in my life. I flipped hamburgers in high school, still run a pretty mean grill, and have done just about every job imaginable at VRC. Started as a part-time driver while I was going to college.
So was the business in your family, or how
No,
you
no,
were just a driver at VRC and you just got a job?
VRC didn't exist. This was a vaulting company that was a precursor to VRC.
Okay, got it.
Worked my way into being the manager of the vault company within a couple of years. And then in 80s, computers were creating paper, not helping manage the flow of paper as we do today. But in the 80s, computers were actually generating. Nobody wanted to look at it on a green screen. They wanted to print it out on green paper.
Right.
And so we started VRC in March of 1988. And so I've been there since day one. And
so did you start it alone, or how did it start? What was
No,
so you had the other company that you were managing. Did that one sort of morph into VRC?
Eventually that joined and morphed into VRC. We never used that brand outside of Memphis, and then eventually that vaulting company, and still have some of those same customers from 40 years ago, is now part of the VRC ecosystem. So we've had two sets of owners or sponsors of VRC. One was a group of prominent Memphians, so we call Memphis people, Memphians, local family real estate company, big deal in Memphis and in the real estate community. Bells, B-E-L-Z, owned the majority of VRC. So I was the guy who had the little piece of sweat equity, but the marching orders to, hey, go figure out how to do something with this and get it to go and get it to grow. And in 2017, 8 years ago, that company exited, or that group of owners exited. I was the baby of the board by a considerable margin, and estate planning and various reasons, that group, and I think they knew they were holding the business back a little bit. We've been private equity sponsored for the last 8 years, have had an incredible run. And
my gosh, have you ever? So 8 years ago, and it's Windjammer, right?
Windjammer Capital.
Right,
That's
Windjammer
correct.
Capital. And they came in and made a major investment, and you've gone on a run. Tell me how many acquisitions you've made in the last 8 years, because you've been on a tear.
In the last 8 years, we've acquired 138 companies. In our prior 30-year history, we had acquired 35 companies. So just to give an idea of the pace, and many of the companies we acquired, either the folks who owned them or run them or both, now work for VRC. That's part of the secret sauce, is the team that makes it happen at VRC now are largely small business entrepreneurs, small business managers that are still here running their respective markets and operations today. That is a big part of the success of VRC.
Yeah, it's really incredible when you think about it, because I think about even your sort of senior executive team, and you look through many of your executive team, and a lot of them are from acquisitions.
That's exactly correct. So you've got Rob Reese out in California. He runs the Western United States. The Reese family has been from DataSafe.
Yeah.
The Reese family has been in the industry longer than I've been in the industry, and Rob grew up and it's in his blood, and so he runs half the United States for us. And we've got Dan McFarland, didn't come through acquisition, but my chief operating officer, he came from Recall,
right?
So brought 15 years of experience and came to us at really the right time, where, hey, we've had all this growth, somebody's got to manage it, and Dan and his team do an amazing job. And then all throughout the local market, area VP and regional VP levels, they're almost all folks that joined us through various acquisitions.
And you got some guy named Jim Teskey. I don't know who he is. He's helping you with some of the
Jim
acquisitions.
is
and he came from
Jim is the godfather of the records management industry, or so he would tell you.
He will tell you
And
that
he will tell
regularly.
you that,
Yeah.
and in a very long,
Right.
winded way.
They'll just go on and
And
on and on. Yes.
so Jim has been with us. We purchased his company Record Max in 2016, and so Jim's been with us almost 9 years
Yeah.
now, and his relationships. He's a big part of that success story with the 138 companies. Jim knows everybody. He's been in the business as long as I have,
Yep.
and is a kinder, gentler, easier to talk to soul than I am, and so he puts on a really wonderful face for VRC. He's got a genuine success story of his own to share, and it resonates when he talks to people.
Yeah, no, it's really it really is interesting to see sort of the growth and evolution, and then the people that come along for the journey and how they become a part of it. So, your you just sponsored the executive luncheon
Yes.
today and at the conference here. So thank you for that. Thank you for your contribution to the industry. What are you particularly excited about at this show this year for you and VRC? I know acquisitions, and we're going to talk about a little bit more about that. But what are you particularly excited about the show this year?
Really is much more just the opportunity, as always, at this show and some of the other industry related shows. It's the networking. The real value at these shows, in my opinion, is the networking and the opportunity, whether they're old friends or new friends. That's where you learn the cutting edge, whether it's technology, techniques, new way to price something, a service offering. The networking is just amazing. And then, of course, there's all kinds of great speakers and educational sessions. I love the lunch that Nate and his team have put together, this executive lunch. We've sponsored it all 3 years. It's a genuine work on trying to provide high level, thinking knowledge to business owners. The vast majority of the people in attendance here, they are either small business owners or they are managers of small business owners. It's not the larger, and I occasionally have to remind myself, I guess VRC's in the larger bucket now. There were three of us when we started.
Right.
But that knowledge base is what helps get the next generation of
Right.
of people going in the industry. So that's what I enjoy.
Very cool. So, February of this year, a big announcement came out. Like ProShred was acquired by VRC. So tell us a little bit about that one. Where are you on that journey? And that's pretty big news in this industry.
It is big news, and we were really excited. Our Vital Shred division was a little larger than ProShred, but we were both in a drop down sort of third position in the industry. Made it a little difficult to compete on a national basis. Terrific company, terrific folks. We were just talking about leadership in the company. So we now have an East and a West in our Vital Shred division. Richard Pepper, who ran the company for operationally for ProShred, runs the Eastern United States for VRC now, or for Vital Shred. And Jason Skermetti, also been in the industry a long time, runs the West. And so there's 17 markets to ProShred. It's not the biggest acquisition we've ever done, but it is the most markets in one acquisition. About a third of those are now in operating as VRC, and give it another 2-3 months, and we'll have they'll all be operating as VRC. Another big part of what we try to do is we don't, right, wrong, or indifferent, we have our way of doing business, and we want to get in and get everything operating our way, and not have so many businesses struggle when they acquire something and they try to leave multiple versions of an operating plan in place. And my experience is that doesn't work.
Right. So, like you said, it's not the biggest acquisition, but it's the most
The most
diverse
markets, yep.
in terms
Most
of
markets by far,
right.
yep.
So, the acquisition of that, and so you're making it all VRC shred.
Correct. Vital Shred, yep.
Vital Shred. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct. And so, 300-ish employees joining the VRC family, and so we're at about 2,300 employees now. And
wow.
yes,
Is that kind of hard to believe? Do you actually ever go, holy crap, look at where I am?
I do it regularly. I'll find myself rattling off a stat to a customer, potential customer, employee, lender, whatever. I'll be rattling off a stat in my brain. That's one of them. Is there were 3 people on March 14th, 1988, when we opened the door, and now there's 2,300, and
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh, Danny, that's
we're the little guy in this industry, and to my knowledge, the only one that started as same as everybody else, as a small entrepreneurial run. Hey, can we make what's this industry, and can we make a run at it? And we're the little guy that got big. You know, we didn't dive in at any place or point. We grew brick by brick, market by market, and you know, and everybody at our team is very enthusiastic. We still love what we're doing, love the industry. I'm really excited about where the industry's going and all the things going on right now. The hybrid between nobody is 100% digital, nobody is 100% paper.
right.
The key is to be ready to operate in both of those two spaces and help people manage their journey in those two spaces. And you know, I've never been higher on the industry than I am right now.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and it's been really interesting for me as somebody who's, you know, close proximally to everything that you guys are doing, because I have so many relationships both within your company and externally to it. And then clients of mine have been acquired by you. And it's just been really interesting to watch the whole evolution of you, you know, from when I knew you years ago to where you've become now. And such a cool story. So, congratulations
Well,
on
thank you.
leading this thing to a really cool place. And
I am a true example of even a blind squirrel can find a nut. I am. If you look that up with AI, Aaron was talking about in his presentation. Undoubtedly, my picture is sitting there as the blind squirrel. But it is it's been a fabulous journey, and it's not over. We're as I said, we're excited and gung ho, and got great partners, and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
That's so cool. Well, Danny, thank you for for being such a big part of the industry, for sponsoring in the industry, for all of the stuff that happens in and around the world that you lead and inhabit at VRC. And congratulations on such an amazing journey. I'm really proud for you. So
Well, thank you,
congratulations.
Tom, and appreciate the invite to speak. Always happy to talk about the industry and to talk about VRC. And congratulations to you. You've been in the industry as long, give or take, as I have. And
I think
there's few.
you're beating me by a few years. I came into it about 25 years ago. So
Oh, okay.
so
I've always thought. I guess we're just getting older, so I guess
yeah, I know.
I think of us as a certain group of us as just having been around forever. And
Yeah, we have. Well, we have. I think now many of us have been around forever, but yeah, I'm only 25 years in the industry. But when I came into it, like I was immediately into it.
it gets in your blood, it gets in your
It
mind, and it
really
gets in
does.
your blood. And so, thank you for the invite, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.